This recording is Volume 8 in the Pardon My Blooper series of unintended indiscretions before microphone and camera. It is intended as a sympathetic tribute to the members of the radio and television industry who have been the victims of these classic boners. An announcer, after a hard and long day at the studio, admitted he had other things on his mind when it came time for doing this commercial for a beauty salon.
Ladies, when it's time for a trip to the beauty parlor, remember it's Helen's on 5th and Main Street. Helen's has the reputation for being the town's finest beauty saloon.
So take a trip down to the corner grocer for the giant can of Mrs. Brady's vegetables. You will find them enriched with all the vitamins necessary for good health. You'll enjoy this good eating when you stock up with a fine product. So when it comes to value, compare. And we are sure that you will find that Mrs. Brady's has the largest can in town.
Audience participation programs evoke some unexpected answers as evidence this priceless reply.
My husband hasn't looked at another girl's face since we were married.
Is that so? Sir, what do you do for a living?
I operate the air holes down at the Coney Island Funhouse.
Spoonerisms oft-times plague announcers, especially one like the following.
And in addition to this Bendix automatic washing machine, the winner will receive a trip to St. Petersburg, Florida, the Sunshine City. The Shine City.
Our next recording is dedicated to Rosemary Bates, who is getting married tonight. We hear now, It Only Hurts for a Little While.
Let's tune in on your comparative shopper of the air.
Our price survey, made at the various local department stores here in town, shows very little change in prices. Our survey shows that the only items pertain to ladies' dresses and men's pants. Ladies' dresses are going up and men's trousers are going down all over town.
So go to your neighborhood movie and see Frankenstein, starring Boris Karloff in a chiller diller that is guaranteed to make your end stand on hair. That is, to make your end stand up.
This sports commentator should have left well enough alone instead of trying to correct himself.
Good evening, sports fans. We're crammed into the field house where tonight's sexual competition begins with the state high school championships. Did I say sexual? I meant sexual.
Here's a news item that was handed to a newscaster without it being checked in advance. And in the head-on collision of the two passenger cars, 5 people were killed in the crash. 2 seriously.
This 3-piece living room suite is ideal for small apartments, and you'll find that this living room suite seats the needs of today's more modern family.
Let's tune in on a children's program known as Uncle Fred's Jungle Town.
and here's an item of news for the youngsters. Amongst the new arrivals at the zoo, kiddies, is a new spotted leopard just arrived from Africa. So, kids, this Sunday ask your dad to take you to see the newest resident at the cat house.
This is Peter Arnell, your weatherman, speaking to you from the Weather Bureau at the airport. Tomorrow's forecast will be mostly Sunday.
Attention, young ladies. Attention, young ladies. Your country needs your services. Hospitals throughout the nation are greatly understaffed. Nurses are urgently needed. Volunteer to be one of America's white-clapped ladies of mercy.
One of the dangers of an open mic at a sporting event is the fan who gets excited and whose voice sometimes is heard above the crowd. Let's listen to this fan of fighter Virgil Akins at Madison Square Garden.
Hey, kick the crap out of him, please!
We take you now to Minneapolis and hear the MC of a program known as Polka Dance Party.
Well, radio audience, this is a sad day for this program. Alice Dale, who has been mistress of ceremonies on this show with me, is leaving after 5 years. We're going to be sorry to see her go. The producers of this program and the sponsors have decided that her replacement will come from the ranks of our loyal radio listeners. All you talented ladies who feel that you can do the job can apply. So, ladies, if you want to be my mistress, call Newton 20161.
Newsmen who are assigned to remote broadcasts, which can originate from almost anywhere, are sometimes confronted with difficult problems. However, this newscaster did not anticipate this one.
Devastation is everywhere. The tornado tore up trees and houses in its path. Automobiles were overturned. As yet, a full and complete count on the dead, the injured, and the missing is not available due to the confusion in the area. Doctors and ambulances have been called from the various surrounding areas to lend assistance in this grave emergency. Power lines have been broken, leaving residents with no electricity.
I am sorry. Your 3 minutes are up. 5 cents more, please.
Operator, this is an emergency. I'm relaying emergency information to our radio station as a public service to assist in a disaster.
I am sorry. 5 cents for 3 minutes.
Operator, I don't think you understand. People's lives are at stake.
I am sorry. I will connect you with a supervisor.
Operator, drop dead.
We now take you to the 50-yard line, where a Big Ten football game is in progress.
The center snaps the ball back. It's Peters on a handoff from the quarterback. He cuts off tackle. He's down to the 30, the 20, the 10, and he's hit by number 88 with a ferocious tackle that knocks Peters out of bounds. Oh, Peters is stretched out with his teammates gathered around him. It may be that bad leg again. Looks like a bad break for them. Now the coach has decided to take him out, and Peters is limping off the field as a hush falls on the state rooters. Now, looks like the team will have to play with Peters out.
You've just heard There's No Business Like Show Business, sung by the robust voice of Ethel Mermer.
Let's listen to this bit of news from a professor who conducts a program known as the Marriage Forum of the Air.
The Marriage Forum, an adult series of evening discussions and lectures for those contemplating marriage, will be a course of 4 Thursdays of March. The first Thursday will feature a special lecture on sex and marriage with a special demonstration one evening in May.
And here's an item of local interest. Mr. Henry Bailey of this city has just received the first National Betting Award from the Association of Betting Manufacturers. He's married and has 14 children.
Here is another tongue twister that resulted in disaster for this enthusiastic announcer.
And here he is, the girl's best friend, Brett Baker.
Since the GI Sergeant James Herman was refused by the Russians, he has been convicted of desertion, sentenced to 3 years at hard labor, and given a desirable discharge.
Audience participation programs can sometimes give sponsors and networks many a headache due to the unexpected and unplanned remarks by participants, as evidence this nationwide broadcast.
My, oh my, 16 children. Is your husband in the audience?
Yes.
Well, let's call him up on the stage. Let's have a nice round of applause for the husband of 16 children. Sir, where did you spend your honeymoon?
Niagara Falls,
How long were you there?
11 days.
My, oh my, you must have seen and done a lot. How did you spend your time?
In bed.
Well, folks, the basketball game is just about ready to resume. Score is 21-21, an exciting game as we've seen here in many a year. Now, see the referee's getting ready to blow the official.
Let's listen to an introduction of famous news commentator John Cameron Swayze.
Stay tuned for John Solomon Quasey and the news.
We take you now to BBC in England.
And from London comes a report which reliably states that there will be no marriage in the immediate future. So it begins to appear that there will be no Peter in her life.
All of society is expected to turn out for the Charity Ice Show to be staged at our arena on February 3rd. One of our girls, Miss Lizzie Barker, will be competing in the figure shaking championship.
This is the most practical automobile on today's market. Yes, you get economy. Yes, you get beauty. Yes, you get comfort. And it actually comes with a built-in bed. So when you're out with your family on a trip, you can take a short nap.
Fashion shows are very often emceed and written by inexperienced performers. The following occurred on a television fashion show.
Our next number features this lovely two-piece play suit, which you will find handy at the beach and at home. It's Bermuda length, shorts, can be used for golf and hot weather instead of a skirt or slacks. With this outfit, there's no need for you to get hot in the pants.
The area around Cape Canaveral has certainly grown in leaps and bounds, largely due to the influx of Army racketeers and their families. I'm sorry, that should read Army rocketeers. Well, rock and rollers, it's time for our mystery guest contest. If you guess the name of the next artist, our sponsor's going to send you 2 tickets to the RKO Theater in your neighborhood. Now, the clue to this singer, and this is the only clue I'm going to give you, is that she has 2 of the biggest hits in the country.
Let's listen to this proud professor of music telling a radio audience about one of his pupils on a program that originated from a well-known college of music.
Our next number is Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto, featuring our own violin virtuoso, Saul Tannenbaum. You will notice Mr. Tannenbaum plays passages of ease with the greatest of difficulty.
Play-by-play sports announcers sometimes get so carried away by the excitement of the moment that they forget that they are broadcasting on a live microphone to millions of people.
The bases are loaded. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Waruski. Here comes the pitch. It's a long fly deep to right field. Miller's fading back, drops his sunglasses over his eyes, and the son of a bitch drops the ball with 3 on and 2 out.
And from the newsroom, this item. A Negro woman has just had her 33rd child, which is believed to be some sort of a record in this state. And now, the story about the rabbits.
In Washington, plans have been announced in connection with the festivities and ceremonies for the arrival of Premier Khrushchev. There is still some doubt, however, as to whether the Russian visitor will receive a tickle-tape parade up Fifth Avenue.
A small Midwest station conducted a daily morning program known as Want Ads of the Air to assist its listeners in job placement.
As we continue on with Want Ads of the Air, we have an advertisement from Springdale. There's an opening down there for a man to take care of a kennel of dachshunds. He must speak German.
A rock and roll disc jockey inadvertently picked up a recording left in his studio by a previous program which featured an hour of concert music. He picked up a recording of a Rachmaninoff piano concerto and gave it the following introduction.
Now, here's a record that features a selection by Rachmaninoff. Must be some new cat. Let's give it a listen to.
We take you directly to a county fair in Arkansas.
While we're waiting for the main event to start, I might as well tell you about some other things that are happening down here, too. Now, Charlie Haybaker, he's from Hickory Grove, R.D., he has his nuts on display on a counter just down the aisle.
The following occurred on a man-on-the-street interview which originated outside a large New England factory which had just opened and which was seeking new employees.
And what is your name, young lady?
Alice Pearson,
And where are you from?
Boston.
Are you married?
No.
And what are your qualifications for the job that you are seeking?
Well, I really don't have any, but I have no bad habits, and I'm willing to learn.
And in the world of sports, that was a great game that Drysdale pitched last night. No, it wasn't last night. It was the night before, and it wasn't Drysdale. Oh, it was Koufax. Or was it? Wait a minute. Hey, Joe. Oh, yeah. No. Wait a minute. Now I'm all fouled up over here. Now, I don't remember it was night before last. To hell with it. Let's go on.
Now you can have what you've always dreamed of, your own swimming pool in your backyard, complete with filter and diving board, made of the finest steel. So when you buy this wonderful pool, you'll be guaranteed to be in for a lot of folks' fun.
The traffic deaths were fewer on our nation's highways this last weekend. Only 274 of you took each other's lives. In fact, the number of deaths was considerably less than many pessimistic OPs.
Performers in radio and television have to start their careers somewhere. Mic fright is one of the beginner's biggest problems. Here's a case where a young lady had great difficulty in getting the words out on her first broadcast which dealt with fashions.
And now for the latest from the fashion world. It is good news for men. Women are going to wear their dresses. And now for the latest from the fashion world. It is good news for men. Women are not going to wear their dresses any longer this year.
So, men, if you're going to improve the appearance of your home this winter, take advantage of our special offer. Now you can have Venetian blondes in every room in your house.
Many strange things happen in a studio while the mic is live. Here's a case where the announcer picked a weak and wobbling folding chair to sit on as he introduced a nightly news show.
The National Broadcasting Company brings you H.V. Kaltenborn Views the News. And now, Mr. Oh! Obvious son of a bitch.
Several years ago, Pepper Martin, one of the all-time baseball greats, was called upon to dramatize an incident that related to the famous gas house gang of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here was the result.
It was one of the most exciting moments in baseball, with a count of 3-2 on the batter and the World Series at stake. The pitcher burned a hot one over the plate and... wait a minute, gang. Hey, where the hell is page 8? Out at the Bayshore Hospital, Howie Bowen, telephone linesman, is recuperating from injuries he received when he came in contact with a live wife.
It's very simple. No jingles to write, no box stops to cut off. Just mail your answer on a postcard. The judges will award prizes to the worst 100 women sending in correct answers.
Let's hear this beautiful introduction of a beautiful song by a well-meaning announcer.
That was Cole Porter's Beautiful Fanny, as recalled by Fred Waring and his Pennsylvanians.
Let's listen to an important public service message about the Salk polio vaccine.
Since the latest outbreak of this crippling disease, over 150,000 shots have been administered to children in 13 states. So remember, be sure to get your pork polio vaccine. So take advantage of our brand new refrigerator trade-in offer. Ladies, here's a chance to trade in your old box for $150.
And so we conclude another in the Pardon My Blooper series of classic radio and television boners. Additional albums in this series will be released soon. Until we meet then, this is your narrator leaving you with the words of Alexander Pope, who said, "To err is human, to forgive divine."